This is a review. It's a new light by the company Sutefoto. Hello everybody, welcome to Alan Moore's Photography. This is Alan, and we have another beginner's video coming up this week. It's episode number 2, where we're going to be talking about choosing the right camera. But today I wanted to give you a little bonus. This is a review of a new light. It's a new light by the company Sutefoto, who we had looked at their light ones earlier, later in the year, last year. We went out and did some light painting with them. These rods are incredible. They're full color. You can operate them from your phone, and they're just wonderful devices, and we had a lot of fun with them. The company also has other lighting products, and I didn't realize this, but they've been around a long time, like 22 years. So they're not a flash in the pan outfit. They've been around for ages. And they asked me to take a look at their studio lights. I actually have been very comfortable and happy with the ones I've been using. So I was reluctant to try something new, just to have to send it back again, because if I didn't want to review it, then I'd have to mail it back to them. You don't need to know all that, do you? What you need to know is that Sutefoto sent me a pair of their T45 studio video lights, bicolor video lights, and they're what I'm using now. In fact, I have, for the first time, an entirely Sutefoto studio setup that I'm using. And for the money, it's hard to beat. And I really, really like it. And there are a few things about it that just make it, for me, a no-brainer. So right now, in the studio, for all my videos that are done indoors, I'm using a 4-light setup. And let me walk you around and show you what I'm using. I have 2 of the Sutefoto square LED panels. Now, as you can see, these things are on stands. Well, they actually come with the stands. The set comes with 2 stands, which are actually quite sturdy, good quality stands, along with a nice case for each of the lights. And then, as an added bonus, each of the lights comes with a diffuser that's like a mini softbox. I'll show you one here. I'll break one down and show you how easy they are to put together and how easy they are to mount onto the panels. Guys, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm just going to show you how these little softbox diffusers break down. They have a sheet of diffusion material that just velcros in there, and this is all there is to it. It's this sunbathing aid that you simply fold into a rectangle like that, and then once you've done that, these little elastic straps come over the back and stick to the top like so. And then it's just a matter of positioning them. I mean, the box goes in front of the lights, so that's it. That's it positioned. Now, of course, it needs this, and this is a little bit trickier until you get used to it. They have to be attached very hard. Just touching it really is all it takes, touching it to the edges, and that's it. Now you have a completely diffused softbox thing, and it's lovely light, incredibly. I should have mentioned, the lights themselves weigh nothing. They're plastic, a high impact plastic, not a heavy metal case like a lot of them are. And they come, of course, with the power adapter that plugs in the wall. But yeah, very, very cool. I didn't show you the controls either. Honestly, I prefer to use the remote than I do the buttons, because the buttons actually have a press button that steps you through the intensities of light up and down, like so, and then you can go back up by 5 presses, and then you can fine tune it with the dial. This is the color temperature too. It has 3 presets at 3200, 4500, 5600, which makes it a lot easier if you just want to ballpark it, but you can also change it fine tuning that way. You may notice that it doesn't have a screen. That's one of the reasons they could make this less expensive, is it doesn't have that added, which doesn't really do very much other than give you the numbers. But if you're using the remote, you can guess and get pretty close. So these are a good deal at $150 for a pair. If you have a little home studio, can't go wrong. But they make a huge difference, and that is, a lot of these lights come with barn doors on them so that you can get the light somewhat directional, and that's nice. But this is way better. This kind of gives you that directional barn door effect, but it also softens the light, makes it more even. And I think the other feature about them that I love and why I recommend them so highly, apart from the price, which I'll get to in a second, is that they come with a remote. Now, I love this. This is the best if you're shooting by yourself and you're doing stuff for YouTube or whatever. You can guess what your colors are going to look like when you're setting it up, but you don't really know until you're looking at the camera or the monitor once your setup's all switched on. And that's what I have started doing, is controlling the light with my remote from right here, because I have a remote for each of the lights. Both of them have the diffusion panels, both of them on their own stands. But the thing is, the way my studio is set up, I also need lights for the background. And I've always used a regular LED panel to do that. In fact, in the early days, I had to use the non-LED lights because I couldn't afford the LED panels, but the prices came down quite a bit on them. But what I'm using now and what I really love is the light ones. I'll show you how I have them set up right now, but the light ones are on either side of me, and I can position them so that all of their light gets thrown onto my background, which I want you to see because it's my collection of thrift store cameras. And I'd hate for that not to be visible. So both of these are also mounted on stands. They actually just screw into the stands. Now these are each 25 watts. They have a massive battery. It's something like 3,000 milliamp hours, but they stay alight way long enough for me to record a video or two. They put out 2600 lumens, and as you can probably remember, they have an incredibly wide range of color temperature, all the way from 2800 Kelvin up to 100,000. So a huge variability in the color. They do all the same flashy things, flashing on and off to make you think it's on fire, that all of these lights do these days, and I'm not crazy about that, but I don't use it. Another thing I love about having these two lights is I can control them both from my phone app quickly and easily, so I can set the lighting the way it's actually looking in the video, and that's a real bonus that I haven't had in the past. The big lights are 13 or 14 inches by 12 inches or 13 inches, something like that, 14 by 13. And they have 50 watts output, each of them. So that's another 100 watts plus another 50 watts from the two background lights. They come with the stands, like I said, the boxes, and they have a CRI of 97, whereas the ones are a little bit purer, 98, but they're both super high quality lights, and they match one another perfectly with the temperature. They let me see, the studio lights put out like 7,000 lumens. So they're a bright light. In fact, I had to turn down the ISO on the camera today from where it used to sit because these lights are a lot more powerful than the ones I was using. They don't have as broad a range of color temperature. They go from 3200 up to 5600K, but that's more than enough. And each of these panels has 280 LEDs in it. The wands have like 246 in each wand. So the point is that I can have what I consider to be an absolutely professional, world-class lighting setup for my studio for under $400. It's $150 for these two together. That's just $150 for 2 lights, 2 stands, 2 cases, 2 soft boxes. And then the wands are about $109 a piece. They're more expensive, but in many ways they're more cooler too. They do a lot of fantastic stuff. And remember, when I'm not using these in the studio, light painting and other outdoor activities, great fun. So that's all I wanted to share with you, that these are fantastic lights, Sutefoto. They're over on Amazon. If you go over there, you'll get like I think it's a 10% discount, and all the information will be in the show description down below. So check that out. I'll be back in a few days with another beginners program. We're going to do this week. It's cameras. Helping you choose the best camera for your macro photography is basically what it is. And then after that, we've got the lens one coming up. So that'll be fun, something to look forward to. And thank you everybody who joined me at the live stream this last Saturday. It was a huge success. Everybody had a good time, and I'm so grateful for your support and being there. If you want to get to all of the live streams, like automatically, you need to join Patreon, because that's what we do almost every weekend on Patreon. So if you want to consider joining, do that, and I'll look for you over there. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in a few days with some camera stuff.